How we feeling, guys? How we feeling? Feeling good? Good, 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 good. Man, my weekend was good, man. It was chill. Chill weekend, didn't do too much. Got some work done. Um, yeah, not too much. Played some Black Ops 6. That was fun. All right, guys, let's just talk about these shorts right now. I think they're going to step in super aggressively. We never displaced this weekly Sibby up here. You guys can already see the shorts are really stepping in. Like JB said, if you guys saw in the chat, our jobs report came out so bad, like very negative on Friday. And we're gonna start seeing that effect right now. So I really do think, and also if you look at the weekly, we got this big engulfing candle here, which typically indicates a reversal, right? Where we took out the high of previous week, took out the low, typically indicates reversal. Daily, we do have a daily bearish imbalance up here, but I want to see it start coming down for these lows down here. All right, so we got daily lows, some daily liquidity down there, sell side. But you guys can already see these shorts are coming in quick. We bounced off a 4-hour Sibby up here. All right, 4-hour Sibby up here that we've already bounced off of. On Friday, that's when we bounced off of it. We have some 4-hour lows down here that I really do think we're going to come down for tonight. Do you guys already see that dump that we've already had right off market open here? Look at that. How many points have we already dumped? We've already dropped 67 points, guys, in the first 2 minutes. First 2 minutes, we've dumped how many? 67 points already. So I'm really expecting this to start coming down for the lows. Look at that new week opening gap right here. So typically what happens, guys, whenever we create a new week opening gap like this, or a new day opening gap, if it gaps down, we're going to see us continue down for a while until we take out some sell side liquidity. And then around 9 o'clock Eastern, we typically look for some kind of reversal after that, back up to buy side. But right now I'm expecting very bearish price action. So I want to see if maybe we'll come back into a good level and we might be able to catch a nice little short. Again, that candle right there, guys, is over 150 ticks. Over 150 ticks. So we're already seeing us sell off. So we might have to wait for good structure. So what we'll do is we can just kind of talk about, what we're expecting for the week. I'll run through all my charting with you guys, but I want to be looking for a setup soon, just because I think these shorts are really going to continue. Probably down to these hourly lows, 4-hour lows down here. We have some equal lows on the 1 hour right here that we will probably come down to target right there. So I'm really expecting this to come down. And remember, guys, it's because of our jobs report on Friday. I think the number was like, we only added like 12,000 jobs, which is like the lowest we've seen in a long time. So very negative news coming out on Friday, which I would expect to start having more of an impact today, where we would come down for this low, 20,055.25, and then probably come down, try to target these lows all the way down here. Around, what level is this? 20,850, something like that. So we're going to trade back into this 1 minute right now. Right, so it's very volatile because we just opened, right, and we have all that negative news impacting our market. So what I want to wait for is a little bit of structure to start forming, but I want to look to start taking shorts in this market. Even if we do want to come back up and test new week opening gap up here, I still want to see us, start heading down. So if we see us kind of chopping around for a while, then we'll wait to take any trades, and we'll just do our charting. But right now, I just want to focus on what is happening in the market currently to see if we're going to find a nice trade setup. If we bounce off this 1 minute Sibby up here, get a 1 minute busy, get some inversion, we might see a nice little setup in the shorts. So I'm going to start looking pretty soon. Try to start off the week on a good note here, looking for a nice setup. So that's what I'm looking at right now, guys. What's up, Javier? What up, King Plot? Don't we separate the art from the artist with IC himself and IC concept, so why not in music? A lot of people separate the art from the artist in music as well. We dumped because Kamala is winning Iowa. It always plays a factor. I think the main factor right now, that could play a factor. I do think the main factor right now is our jobs report, though, coming out very negative, and we have our election coming up in 2 days in the U.S. So again, you guys could already look to take a short position if you want to off the 1 minute SIBI up here. The reason I'm not going to take that entry just yet is just because we have such a big gap here that this would not be the best entry. It wouldn't be an A+ setup. This would be a very, very risky entry from here just because look at all this room that we could come up and fill. Although I am extremely bearish right now, I would just want to see more structure building first, right? I would want to see some more structure. See new week opening gap over here on ES. But like I said, you guys could already look to take shorts if you want to. There's already been the opportunity trading into a 2 minute, into a 1 minute. So you could have already gotten your entry if you're trying to be a little more aggressive. I kind of want to wait and see if we're going to form this nice 1 minute bearish order block. Maybe some more structure here on the 1 minute time frame. You know, if we come down and close below that, create a nice order block, trade back into it, give us a good entry model, catch all the way down to the 4 hour. What's up, Brandon? I'll probably go in half a lot. Yeah, probably scaling with half a lot. I might even scale in with just 2 cons right now. You know, if I get into trade, I'll probably scale in with like 2 cons and then add into 4. I might go with 4 cons as a full lot. I'll probably do that, honestly, this entire week. This week's going to be very hectic. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. If you are not feeling confident in your trading right now, this is not the week to keep trading. If you're finding yourself going on tilt, you're making a lot of mistakes. Your trading's not in the right place. You might want to just stay out of the market completely for this entire week. Elections are going to bring some crazy volatility. Even though I have a good grasp on my trading right now, you know, even coming off a really good day on Friday, I'm still going to be very conservative in my trading this week because it's going to be all over the place. And I will tell you right now, most traders are probably staying out the entire week. Most traders are probably not trading this entire week. I should say most smart traders or most experienced traders you're probably not going to see them trade at all. Maybe later on in the week, just like Seabreezy said, maybe not until Thursday. It might be smart for you to do that, right? Now, I'm still going to run my sessions and I'm still going to be looking for trades, but I can't promise I'm going to be taking trades at least for the next few days because, again, I'm an experienced trader. I like to think of myself as a smart trader, and you know, I'm not going to put my own capital at jeopardy when it's not worth it. And if you don't have the ability to stay out of a market for an entire week, you might need to rethink your trading. You know, you have to have that ability to not trade for a week and to not have any FOMO about missing out on an entire week, or else you probably should not be trading. I'm going to be honest with you, like at all. You should probably be paper trading and just learning. Because I know from experience, whenever I, in the past, could not stay out of the market, it was just because of FOMO, and I would end up making terrible mistakes, taking terrible trades, and it wouldn't end well for me, right? And I realized that if I just stayed out for a week and gave myself that patience, I would have been just fine. But instead, I had the blow-up week, couldn't stay out during a terrible market. Even if I knew the market was going to be really really bad, I would still trade and I would get destroyed. So just my 2 cents for today, going into this week, might be one of the most volatile weeks of the year. So just keep that in mind, please. Thoughts on big news with elections on Tuesday? Yeah, no, it's going to be insane. It's going to be insane, Travis. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be all over the place. Probably not going to be able to read the market too well. Everything's going to be controlled fundamentally. I don't think there's going to be a lot of technical analysis at play. I think most things are going to be fundamental throughout this week. It's just going to be all affected by the election and by our news, right? We can look at what news we have coming out this week. If you check out my screen, tomorrow, not too much, just a few yellow folder events, but going into Tuesday, obviously we have our elections. We got ISM Services PMI. That's pretty much all we got there, but Tuesday's going to be insane. Wednesday, we have some orange folder, nothing too crazy. Going into Thursday, what do we have on Thursday? We got FOMC statement, federal funds rate, FOMC press conference, right? So big FOMC news coming in on Thursday. And then Friday, just orange folder. So this entire week is just filled with stuff, right? Filled to the brim with a lot of news. So just expect volatility. Like I said before, if you are not in a good place with your trading, or even if you are in a good place with your trading, you might want to completely stay out of the market this week. Let's see. Should we size down and even? Yeah, 100%. I would size down for sure. I would definitely size down. I'm going to be sizing down. Like I just said, I'll probably be going down, sizing in with 2 minis. My half lot will be 2 minis, and then 4 minis will probably be my full lot this whole week for any trades that I take, unless there's something where I have really good risk management. I have a decent stop loss. I'll probably look for, maybe to add into a few cons. But again, I can't promise you that I'm going to be taking many trades this week. It's probably going to be, if anything, it'll be a few trades at the most, right? At the most, it'll be a few trades. We just traded into the 5-minute SIBI right there. Okay, so I'm really expecting these shorts to step in. I want to see if maybe we're going to come down and inverse this 1-minute busy here. Give us a nice level. So I'm going to go start charting a little bit more. If one of you guys doesn't mind, giving me a little call out, if we do come down and inverse that 1 minute, let me know as I'm charting. All right, but going back to the 4-hour, right? We created that 4-hour bearish unicorn up here. Remember, we were talking about that 4-hour bearish unicorn a few days ago. We've came down. We've completely displaced these lows. We've gotten a full-on market structure shift here on the 4-hour time frame. We have a lot of sell-side lows down here waiting for us on the 4-hour. All right, we got that low down there. So a lot of sell-side external liquidity here, and you can even see right here we formed this swing low on the 4-hour there. So more levels there, and then if you keep going down, there's more and more. But if we go back to the weekly, remember this weekly busy, this could be a support level for us. Notice how we've bounced off it twice. Both times we've traded into it, we've bounced off of it, so it could be a good support level there. But if we're going to be extremely bearish, I think we run through that. Going back to the daily, we do have a daily SIBI up here. This daily SIBI that we could see price trade into, right? Like I said, when we started, I'm expecting us to be very bearish until around 9-10 p.m. Eastern. Then I would expect maybe we see a little bit of a reversal to come back up and balance the market a little bit. But ultimately, we are starting to look very, very bearish, guys. Very bearish. Did we just get the inverse? Let's go look. Thank you, Matthew. Okay, so we did just get the inverse, so I'm probably going to start looking for a short position here, guys. Probably going to start looking for a short. I scale in very light. Probably look to scale in here about 2 cons. Let's see if we get a bounce off the inverse, right? If we can get a bounce off this inverse, I will look to take a nice little short off of that inverse. If we're not going to bounce off of it, I'm going to stay out because that just means we'll probably chop around for a while. Notice how we're not bouncing off the inverse, so I don't get my entry. That's why I'm very patient with my entries, guys. That's why you don't really see me jumping into an entry right as we trade into a level because I need to see a reaction off that level before I'm jumping in. All right, let's go back to the 5-minute. We did get a nice bounce off this 5-minute, so I'm expecting us to keep dropping. I want to see us come down to these equal lows. Look at these perfect equal lows down here that we left behind. A lot of sell-side liquidity there. And then we've got some more lows down here relative to equal lows. So very obvious sell-side liquidity. We're just going to have to wait for a little bit of choppiness. And we also want to see this 15-minute busy inverse as well. Notice this 15-minute busy. We're about to close on the 15, so if we can close below this level, that just gives us more conviction in these shorts here. If we can close below this 15-minute busy, just extra conviction that these shorts are really going to continue. So we have about 40 seconds until this 15-minute candle closes. So once that happens, we're just waiting for better price action on the 1-minute time frame to start looking for our shorts. Right, because this 1 minute, we came back up and closed above the inverse, so we didn't get the bounce we needed off that level to take a short. There's no conviction yet in my trade as of right now, so I just, keep being patient. Again, the market just opened 15 minutes ago. So there's no reason that you need to be just jumping into trades just because you've been missing out on trading the past few days. Don't get FOMO, just wait. We have this entire week. It's going to be crazy. We just opened. Just be patient. All right, so we still close inside of the 15-minute busy, so no inversion yet, but we really do look like we want to come down and get that inversion. Still got a nice bounce off the 5-minute. So you just got to wait for better structure on the 1 minute to form, right? You got to start waiting for better order flow. Right now, not the best order flow since we opened. Since we opened, we had a nice candle, good bearish order flow, and now we've just kind of been chopping around, but it still looks like we're setting up a nice short position here. Looks like we're setting up a nice little bear flag here. Where we're looking like we're kind of slowly chopping our way up, creating liquidity below. I definitely think we're going to be coming back for this liquidity sometime soon. Right, but you always got to wait. You always got to wait for that pullback into a good level. Wait for that inversion. You can even use the Fibonacci tool here. Right, you can even see if we're going to trade back up into a premium of this small range, this dealing range right here on the 1 minute. Are we going to trade back up above the 0.5? Are we going to come up and test new week opening gap? Right, those could be good levels to keep our eye on as well. And by the way, guys, I'm recording a video for you guys about the Fibonacci retracement tool. I'm going to have that posted for you tomorrow. So if you guys are confused at all about the Fibonacci retracement tool, I'm in the process of recording a full video for you. I'm going to post it on YouTube, and then I'll send it to the Discord as well. So it's just about all of my levels I use and how I use it for different entries. So definitely go check that out once I post it. I'll let you guys know when I post it tomorrow. It should be pretty helpful because I know a lot of people, I get questions all the time about how to use the Fibonacci retracement tool, and a lot of people don't really know how to use it. So hopefully that video will help you guys. The FibVid, exactly. All right, so, okay, we got the inversion, and then we didn't really respect the inverse, so no trades right now. Let's kind of go back to looking at our bigger picture here. I know there's a bunch of lines here. You might be getting a little bit confused. Stay with me. All right, so can someone let me know, like, why do you think I'm very bearish right now? Can you guys let me know a few, maybe let me know a few reasons you think I'm very bearish? What's a reason you guys would be very bearish right now in your bias? Yep, Josh. Exactly. Change of character. That's a good one. Market structure shift. Exactly. Same exact thing on the daily time frame. Yep, you look at the daily. Look at that. We came down and closed below a recent swing low. Market structure shift there. Below the 100, 200 MA. Is that EMA, I'm assuming? Okay. Jobs report bouncing out the 4-hour SIBI. Exactly, right? These are all reasons that we're very bearish right now. All reasons, and they're all very real reasons. They're not just made up reasons. These are very real. Very real. I mean, I've talked about the shorts since before we opened, I wanted to see the shorts come in, right? Before we even opened, I wanted to see us gap down. I didn't want to see a gap up. I wanted to see a gap down because that tells me we're going to get some continuation down to sell side, at least until 9 p.m., right? So at least for the next, I would assume 2 to 3 hours, we're going to see some bearish price action. That's my assumption. If you guys know anything about trading Asia session, I've been talking about a lot more lately. Whenever we gap down like this, we see continuation to sell side. We come down and grab some sell side liquidity, and then around 9 p.m. Eastern, we more often than not, we see some kind of reversal back to the other side, and it's vice versa. If we gapped up, we would see bullish price action, grabbing bullish, buy side liquidity, and then we would see a reversal. Bearish for value gaps on a few time frames. Exactly, right? We have some on the 4-hour. We got that nice one we bounced off of on the 4-hour, on the 1-hour, right? A bunch of time frames that we see us bouncing off bearish for value gaps on the 15-minute there. And then we just formed one on the 5-minute. So just more resistance up here to keep us down. So all you got to wait for now that we have our daily bias, or our session bias, I should say, for Asia session, now you just got to wait for price action to clear up and to start giving you good levels. Right, yeah, you could trade purely off the 5-minute. Let's say you just want to trade off the 5-minute imbalance here. The issue with that is what you have to do is if you got your entry right off the 5-minute imbalance, where are you going to put your stop loss? Because technically, a good stop loss would be all the way above new week opening gap. Are you going to have a 270 tick stop loss? Probably not. Unless you guys are really swing trading. If you're a swing trader, that's different. If you expect this to come all the way down here, that's different. You could look for that trade and keep a 270 tick stop loss. But if you're not a swing trader and you're not trading 1 or 2 micros, that's not a good level to be shorting off of until you see more confirmation. Got to see more confirmation. You got to start seeing inversion. You got to start seeing better bearish order flow, bearish structure, and then you start looking for your setups. All right, so I was thinking about jumping into the shorts right off market open here. I just didn't do it. It's not always the best entry just jumping in right off market open. because sometimes you really got to wait for that gap to happen and then get your entry, and that can kind of leave you with a terrible stop loss. Not the best risk management. As much as I wanted to catch these shorts, and as much as we did drop, not always the best entry model. But now I'm just waiting for this manipulation move here, right? Just waiting for us to manipulate up, grab this buy side liquidity. Kind of a turtle soup entry here, right? Notice how we created internal structure. Notice how we created internal structure here, and we created a swing high. Now we're coming up and we're grabbing that swing high, and we have external sell side down here on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. That's turtle soup, right? You wait for internal structure, you wait for internal liquidity to be swept, and then you wait for us to reverse and go take out external liquidity. So we might see a little turtle soup action here. That's what I'll be looking for. What's up, Alfonso? Reacting to the opening range high. From Friday? Is that what you're looking at from Friday? Yeah, where's opening range? 930, 930. Yeah, so opening range high is right here. That's the 15-minute opening range, right? We have 10-minute and 5-minute as well. So the 10-minute opening range is exactly where we're at right now, right? So 10-minute, we are in 10-minute. 5 minutes, what you use, perfect, right? So exactly, we're right at the 5-minute opening range level. Good level to keep our eye on, for sure. So yeah, definitely keep your eye on that level. See if we start getting a reaction, start getting an inversion here. If we can get some inversion again off another 1 minute busy here, like this one, and we actually start reacting off that busy, we could actually find a good short opportunity here, right? If we can close below this 1 minute busy, react off of it, that would be a better short opportunity to take down to this swing low, and then ultimately down to the equal lows on our higher time frame. So let's see if we get that inversion or not, or we might want to come back up and test new week opening gap. See if we do that. But that's kind of what I'm looking at. So let's just look at overall what we're thinking about for the week, right? We always want to see new week opening gap get filled. We always want to see price run through new week opening gap at some point and rebalance that gap. So that could happen tomorrow, right? We could come up. That could happen tonight. That could happen during London session. That could happen during later during Asia session. We could see us come up and fill this new week opening gap. We want to see that happen, but ultimately, I'm very bearish. Bouncing off this weekly, we got this engulfing candle on the weekly time frame, and then as you can see on the daily, we created a daily bearish for value gap up here with a change of market structure, right? A change of character. I meant to say market structure shift, a change of character. That chotch on the daily, right? So even if we do come up and grab that, touch into that daily fair value gap, I would expect continuation down the sell side. And I want to see us trade into this weekly busy. Now, of course, everything is going to be affected by our elections on Tuesday. So that's what we want to pay attention to the most is our elections. How is that going to affect us? We will find out on Tuesday, who gets elected and how that's going to affect. I don't know if we'll know on Tuesday. We probably won't know who actually wins until more like Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, just because of our previous election. We saw that there was a lot of stuff that got in the way. We didn't find out for a few days after who actually won. So the market might be a little bit, unpredictable until a few days after. So we might have to wait even longer. We could, right? We could know as early as 1 a.m. on Wednesday. That's what I would hope. I would hope we know that early, but if it's anything like last election, we won't know for a few days just because of all of the ballot stuff that happened last time. A lot of stuff happened where, they didn't really know for sure until a few days after. So we'll see. I hope that they find out. I hope we know early so that we have a better understanding of where the market wants to go. But we'll have to wait and see. Charting Asia session and watching football. You really can't beat it. You cannot. Are the afternoon games still on right now? Dude, my fantasy teams are not doing too hot. Not doing too hot today. I'm getting wrecked in both of my fantasy leagues right now. No bueno. Detroit and Green Bay. All I know is that my Chargers won today, so I'm happy. 5-3 on the year. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. Dang, Detroit's smoking Green Bay right now. Smoking them. 24-3. All right, guys, I'm really just waiting for inversion. I'm waiting for some kind of confirmation that we're going to start reversing here. ES is inside of new week opening gap right now, right around consequent encroachment level. So we do want to look at ES and see if ES is going to, get that continuation here. Because NQ might come up and start testing new week opening gap. So we'll see. I'm just waiting. Got $500 on Detroit to cover the -2.5 spread. Nice. Dang, what does that pay out? What are the odds on that? Looks like that's pretty much in the bag. Nice, dude. It's a good way to start off the week. All right, so we're still looking a little bit bullish. We can do some charting on ES real quick. Let's chart out what ES is looking like. You guys know ES has already been at all-time highs. A little bit different. So we've had that weekly SMT divergence at the highs on NQ and ES. NQ hasn't been making all-time highs. ES has. But past 2 weeks on ES have been very bearish. We are trading into a weekly busy here on ES down right here. Same weekly busy that we haven't tapped into yet on NQ. Right there. Go down to the daily. We can see we have that daily SIBI up here on ES as well. Boom. We got some equal lows down here on the daily time frame on ES that we could definitely come down to target right there. And look, it's right at consequent encroachment of the weekly SIBI or weekly busy. So that's a nice level for price to come down to. Equal lows, consequent encroachment. Go to the 4 hour here. We bounce off a 4 hour SIBI there as well. On ES, we just want to see if we're going to come down for these lows. So even though we're looking a little bit more bullish right now, that's okay, right? Because we can't be surprised that price is trying to come up and test new week opening gap. We expect that to happen. We expect price to test new week opening gap. But I don't want to see us running through new week opening gap right now. I want to see us bounce off new week opening gap to give us a nice short opportunity. Let's look at the 1 hour. 1 hour SIBI up here we bounced off of. 1 hour bearish order block we bounced off of. Equal lows down here. We're in this gap on the 15-minute here. So ES is looking pretty similar besides the, on a weekly time frame that we've already bounced off the weekly busy. So a little bit of SMT down here. On the weekly, that's the only SMT we have there. Still looks very bearish to me. Still looks very bearish overall. So we just got to wait for the manipulation right now. Yeah, true, Seabreezy. Exactly. Even with the election, 100%, we still could have some crazy price action because of FOMC. 100%. Wouldn't a play during this time of night be considered low probability? That just depends on the setup. I have found a very high win rate trading Asia session. I would say in like the past 3 months, I don't know my exact win rate, but it's definitely over 80%. Trading Asia session. I don't know what the exact win rate is. I have found very high probability setups during Asia session. Very high probability setups. It just depends on the day. There's plenty of days where I won't trade it because it is low probability. But when I do see good price action during Asia, it's very high probability because I see the similar patterns happening consistently. Like very consistently, I see the same exact patterns happening. So when I see those patterns happening, I look to take trades. If it's not happening, I stay out. All right, so this is when we would want to start seeing a bounce. We would want to start seeing us bounce off new week opening gap up here. We're tapping into it right now. Change this color a little bit. So let's see if we're going to bounce off it. So we're looking pretty bullish right now. Trading to this level, bounce, respecting bullish order flow. Now we just tapped into this 15-minute gap, right, into a new week opening gap. So I would want to start seeing a reaction here. This is where I'd want to start seeing us react. So let's see if we do. But anyways, you guys have any questions, any comments? Yeah, I'm not gonna run a super long session here. Well, I did just want to hop on and do some charting and get prepared for the week. Make sure you guys have all your questions answered. Give us a good idea going into the week of what we're expecting. Just because I know a lot of people might not really be fully aware of the challenges that this week is going to bring, and I want to make sure that everybody knows so they're not just in the dark. So for those of you that are joining now or that have joined up recently to the session, what I said at the start of the session is that I would tell most people to stay out of this week completely, to not take any trades, and if you are going to trade, to trade paper, right? Just to demo trade, because this is probably going to be one of the most difficult weeks of the year, in my opinion, to trade. So even me, I'm going to be very conservative. I don't even know how many trades I'll take. There might be a good amount of days this week where I don't take any trades. Right? But we're still going to do our charting and stuff. We're still going to be doing our tapering. We're still going to be looking at what the market is offering us. All that good stuff. But to be completely honest with you guys, if I didn't have this community and I was just trading on my own, I honestly don't even know if I would look at the charts this entire week. I don't even know if I would. I would maybe just take a vacation this week. To be completely honest with you, I would probably just take a vacation, right? But being the role that I have, being a teacher here, being a coach, I'm going to walk you guys through this week, and there still could be opportunities that we can take that, we could still see decent opportunities. But I'm telling you right now, if I was not running this community, if I was not teaching, I probably wouldn't even look at the market. I would probably take this whole week completely off. And as I said before, if you don't have the ability to do that, you might want to rethink your trading. You might want to start rethinking your trading strategy, right? Because, man, if you don't have the ability to stay out of a market during a day or during a week, you probably shouldn't be trading. I'm going to be completely honest with you, because it's only going to set you back. It will only set you back, right? But the hardest thing for you is going to be if you don't trade this week, and then you see me catching a nice trade, or you see other people, getting a nice trade in, you can't get FOMO. That's going to be the hardest part. That'll probably be your hardest part, is if you are going to take the week off, you can't get FOMO, because you probably will start to get FOMO if you see that I took a trade that was good, that was profitable. You see other people winning. If you make the decision to not trade this week, you have to stick with it, and you can't let FOMO bring you back into the market to start taking bad trades. That's what I'll say. Yeah, Matthew, I think it's probably a good idea. Election party. I think that's pretty smart, man. There's going to be weeks and days throughout the year that if you can just stay away from, you will save yourself so much money. You'll save yourself a lot of hardship. I'm telling you, I've tried to trade weeks that are extremely volatile, where I knew it was going to be one of the an extremely hard week to trade, and I didn't care, and I still traded, and I ended up losing a bunch of money and setting myself back months of progress because I couldn't just stay out of the market. So as much FOMO as you're gonna get, you're gonna get a lot of FOMO, I'm sure, because you're gonna look at the market and you're gonna see moves and you're gonna be like, well, I should have started trading. I should have traded this week. You have to fight against that. Exactly. Full port this week. Full port election week. We got this 5-minute busy. Let's see if we're gonna bounce off of it. The surgery went well. For John. I know I'm pretty sure they got everything fixed. I think he's had a little complications with the cast. I think tomorrow he has to go back in to fix up the cast. But besides that, I think everything went well. Blow your account special. Gonna trade Trump meme coins this week. Sounds like fun. Well, let's see. Let's see. So let's just look at the weekly, right? Ultimately, on the weekly, where are the targets we want to see us go to? I would want to see us trade into this weekly busy, and if we don't go any further than that, that's okay. At the most or at the least, I'd want to see us trade into this weekly busy, and at least test the support level on a weekly time frame after getting our reversal candle here. I want to see us come down to this busy, right? So just breaking it down, I would either, tonight or tomorrow, we might trade up into this daily SIBI up here, but I would want to see a reaction off that level to take us down to the weekly busy. So I'm bearish on the week. Overall, I'm bearish. But again, the election is going to they could completely change that. We could completely shift to being bullish depending on what the election results are. But again, I'm not going to sit on here for hours and just stare at this market. Right, we have our idea, we have our charting levels, we know what we're expecting this week. So tonight, if we're not gonna give me a good setup that I want to see, I will just wait for tomorrow. I won't take any trades tonight. If we do see a nice setup, even after we end the session, I will call it out to you. I'll tell you guys what levels I'm looking to take. I'll tell you what I am looking at, what I'm expecting, and if I do take a trade. All right, Matthew, you take it easy, man. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on and talk about that a little bit. I just wanted to go over my levels, get you guys prepared for this week. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Right now, we're not seeing those shorts come in yet. Do you guys have questions for me, comments, anything you guys are confused about you'd like me to go over? Feel free to ask them right now. I'm probably going to end the session here in a few minutes. I'm not going to run a super long session. Got to rest my voice for the week. I do a lot of talking throughout the week. What do you guys got? Any questions? How are we feeling? Feeling great. There we go. Of course, Travis. Yeah, man, that's what it's all about. You got to prepare, guys. You got to use Sundays as preparation for the week. Yep, that's a good idea, Green. Very selective. That is the theme this week, right? Being very selective with our trades. Javier, I don't know where to start. You mean like with your questions? Are you pretty new to trading? Are you new to trading as a whole, or are you just new to ICT concepts? Man, feel free in this chat room, man, in the free chat room. I'm telling you, ask your questions. We got some great people in this community. Even if I don't answer your question, if I don't see it, there's going to be other people that are going to be there to help, to answer your questions. Take full advantage of this community, man. I'm just not as profitable as I'd like to be. Okay, that's understandable, right? Very understandable. But that's not a bad place to be. Not as profitable as I'd like to be. That's not a bad place to be at all, man. Not a bad place. But again, like I said, man, feel free to ask all the questions that you have. And I'm telling you, even if I don't answer them right away or if I don't see them, someone will answer your questions. We have the people here are amazing. People here are very helpful. Great community. So we're here to help you. We are here to help. So never feel weird about asking questions. I know in other communities people will ostracize you for asking questions. We don't do that here. We don't do that. Any question is a good question. Every question's a good question here. Zertix, ready to kill it. Same here, man. I'm ready to kill it as well. I'm ready for a great week. Friday was a great way to end the week on that free session. Great way to end the week, man. That trade on Friday was awesome. Nice little 300 ticks. 300 ticks to end the week. Like me forgetting what session starts today. No, I'm telling you, dude, like, that's what I mean. That was a hard thing for me when I got into trading is I felt like my questions were going to be dumb and that people wouldn't want to answer them. And that was the wrong mindset to have. I should have just asked more questions. Should have just asked way more questions. And I'm telling you, it'll help so much. Still trying to learn your strat. I'll still use Danny's. Yeah, and that can be hard, right? If you're trying to kind of change a strategy, kind of lean into another one, It's hard to break some old habits for sure. But yeah, definitely recommend checking out my videos. Yeah, 100%. There's a lot of overlap. There's a lot of similarities, right? Because I used to trade supply and demand. So again, there's so many similarities between most strategies that people don't really get. And I say this all the time, but I hate how people hate on other strategies when it's like most of these strategies use very similar concepts with different wording, and I just think ICT adds more value overall. There's way more opportunity using ICT, I think, to find good entries in the market compared to other strategies, but it uses so many similar ideas from other strategies. I agree, Zertix. Patience is everything, man. Patience is everything. It's everything. That's one of my main edges in the market is having patience. That's it right there. If I didn't have patience, I would probably not be a good trader. Patience brings everything. It opens up so many opportunities for you in the market. So many opportunities. Started using trend lines and I discovered your strategy and haven't looked back. That's what I'm talking about, Frank. Yes, sir. Yeah, guys. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at for the week. That's what I got for you tonight. Again, I'm gonna be getting work done, recording the rest of that video for you guys about the Fibonacci retracement tool, watching some football. So I'll be around the charts. I'll be looking, seeing if there's any setups. Right now, I'm not really seeing anything that I want to take. Supply and demand feels more like gambling. It really can be. If you have to add more into supply and demand. You can't just be looking at supply and demand levels, and that's why, like, order blocks, that's what supply and demand is, right? It's order block levels. But if you can throw in other entry models to that idea of using order blocks as support and resistance, and you start throwing in ICT concepts with that, you're going to have way more of an understanding of how this market moves compared to just waiting for a bounce off of a certain level. It's a lot more than that, right? Liquidity will definitely open up your mind and your eyes to this market. Because as much as you want to use supply and demand levels, I'm telling you, liquidity is where it's at. That's my opinion. All right, Frank. Catch you in the morning, man. You too. If we close above the gap, that will be longs, right? Because that means failed break to the lows, grab liquidity. Yeah, exactly, right? If we're going to close above new week opening gap, I would definitely think more long. I would definitely think more long up into the SIBI up here, right? To the 4-hour SIBI. I would definitely think we're going to try to push up into the 4-hour SIBI, grab some buy-side liquidity, start grabbing these buy-side levels here, here, here. That would be my expectation if we are going to run through this gap completely and close above 100%. 100%. That would definitely change my mindset on what I'd be looking for. I wouldn't really be looking for shorts anymore. I would be looking for longs. All right, guys. Well, can you recommend best beginner videos with someone moving from spine to main ICT? I recommend always the first videos to start looking at. Look at 2022, the ICT 2022 mentorship. I really think that's the best place to start if you're going to start getting into ICT. And I would also recommend, yeah, thanks, Zertex, exactly, looking at my videos as well. And that's the issue, right, is the rambling. 100% is hard. So that's why I make my own videos, because I try to get straight to the point instead of all of the ranting that ICT does. And that took me a long time to get through for sure when I was watching his videos. So I always put his videos on like 1.5 or 2 times speed with captions on. And then I would just, oh, really, Mike? Okay. Yeah, look up 2022 No Rant on YouTube. That's perfect. Because if someone edited that part out, then that would be a lot easier to watch. But on my videos, I break everything down more simplified with a good understanding of what that strategy is, but without all of the ranting. So I definitely recommend maybe checking out my videos as well. Sick. Thanks, Mike. Perfect. When would you look for longs? Yeah, I would start looking for longs, Dan, once we close above new week opening gap. Right, and if you look at exactly the level for new week opening gap, right up here at this high, right? So if you just chart out this high If we closed above 2172.5, I would start looking for longs, right? If we close above that level. But right now, we're bouncing off consequent encroachment of the new week opening gap. So I still wouldn't be looking for longs unless we actually closed above that level. I'm still very short biased right now. But yeah, I'd look to see if we're going to close above 2172.5, above new week opening gap. Maybe wait for some displacement above these highs, and then that's when I would start looking for longs. Ultimately, right now, still very bearish. Perfect, Zertix. Perfect. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got for you. Again, I'll let you know if I'm gonna jump into any trades. I'll call them out for free tonight. I'll call them out into the free chat room. So keep your notifications on. I'll let you know if I'm gonna look for these shorts or if the longs are gonna take control. But I appreciate you guys for joining up. Good charting session tonight. Get yourself prepared mentally for this week, guys. It's gonna be a crazy one. Let's be smart. Remember to keep doing the right thing and get 1% better every single day, no matter what. 1% better at most, right? At the least, you're looking to get 1% better, right? Do what you need to do to get better. All right, guys. I'll talk to you probably pretty soon in the chat. If not, I'll talk to you in the morning on the live. Free live all week. Not this week. Not this week. But free live on Tuesday and free live on Friday. All right, guys, have a great night. God bless you. Stay safe. I'll talk to you soon. Peace out.